Hello, hello. Look him sneaking in the door. And
Right
trying
in
to
the
get
back door.
started here. Right in the back door. But anyway, welcome to the football show with no name. My name is, I have an upgraded name now. The Big Jeff. That's how I prefer to be addressed now. And the queen above me, Lauren, who that
Hey y'all.
nation. Over in the corner there, I believe that Ian, at Ian the Champ, always dropping
Hashtag.
the knowledge. And I guess sometime in the morning we're going to have Clintonian is going to come back from his 8-week vacation. Tell us
We got to
how
hear some
his
stories
life
from
has
this.
been because,
Want to hear
damn,
some stories about Denver?
Yeah.
yeah, we haven't seen him in years. But while we're waiting on him, then we'll just go ahead and jump on in, get started. What's good? What do you guys think about football week? Just what do you think about it? What's just happened?
You know, on topic of Denver, I've started to see people hate drop Russell Williams in leagues, and I thought that's just funny to me.
It is.
Like, it's fine. It's totally doable. It's something you need to do. Look, we lost Jeff froze, and that is the great. There it is. And so you made a great face when you're freezing.
Oh, is that what I was doing?
Yeah. What else was football?
I mean, I think.
Well-
I mean, obviously, you got the two really big games this week, which we'll get into: Chiefs and Bills, Eagles and Cowboys, and we'll get.
Oh, I thought you meant last weekend. I was going to say, hold on.
Week.
What happened? What happened?
No, the Saints.
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. Rashad Penny killed me and Jeff in multiple leagues. But I think the real discussion, and we had a little side discussion in our chat group today. I think it was today, or maybe it was yesterday. Is these Thursday night games, these Sunday night games, these things got to start getting flexed a whole lot earlier. We can't be having Bears, with all due respect to our friend Tony. All due respect to our friend Tony, Bears are just not primetime material. Commanders.
Oh, Denver twice.
Yeah, and then Denver on Monday.
No, tomorrow it's a toilet bowl tomorrow night.
It's horrible. It's 2 straight weeks of just terrible. And I mean, I get it. It's ratings. I get it. It's money, but it's.
But who are you getting the ratings from to watch that?
I'd rather watch the Golden Girls.
I honestly don't watch it. I will be finishing Bachelor in Paradise tomorrow night.
Wow, that's terrible.
I love that show. I have no desire to watch. I have to stop myself from calling them the wrong name. The Commanders.
The Commanders.
Oh, I could catch up on a Handmaid's Tale too. And speaking of Commanders.
Wow.
What happened to Clint?
So just gonna kill our promo for Thursday night football. So we'll just skip past Thursday night because I'm gonna be watching The Bachelor. But we'll just jump into topic number 1 because I don't know.
Let's do it.
So we'll just go with it. All right. So we watched football this weekend, just like everybody else. Shitty, terrible calls against defensive linemen trying to bring down these big ass quarterbacks. Roughing the passer rule. What's your take on it? What you think we should do? Speak on it. Like it, hate it, whatever.
I mean, I have a question to start. If they haven't released the ball yet, how do you get roughing the passer? And I thought you had to have released the ball to get roughing the passer.
No, here's why. The reason why it's roughing the passer is because the NFL has put into the rule book this whole new criteria of defenseless player. If you have a wide receiver going over the middle who's reaching up for a football to try to catch it, and a defensive back spears him, that wide receiver.
That makes sense to me.
Right. He's a defenseless player. He can't protect himself. The rule also applies, as it is written in the rule book right now, that a quarterback, when he is in a throwing motion, he is considered a defenseless player.
Was he? So I guess we're talking about Tom Brady, if anybody missed that. This is specifically the Tom Brady.
A shot at Brady.
I really wish we could show what happened because it really is dumb.
Yeah, Danya, we need to get like the ability to show replays live. That would really, and that would
basically Tom Brady got a big bear hug and then he sat on top of the defensive lineman that tackled him. There was no head to the turf. There was
no what
he didn't kick him in the nuts.
Brady should have got the.
The problem with Brady's was that his name is Brady. That's number one. But yes, he was thrown to the ground. I don't think it was malicious. It wasn't in.
No, he sat on him first.
I think
Like
I think what got him the penalty was when he got up. When was it Grady Jarrett is his name? When he got up after Jeff's frozen again after the sack, he kind of like stepped over him, like kind of went like walked over him, like Allen Iverson over Tyronn Lue. I think that was part of it. But I mean, was he thrown down? Yes.
No.
Did he have to be? No. Is it roughing the passer?
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree that in that from where he was standing. This is from having played rugby for a couple of years. I don't know how else you would have got it. Like he wasn't going. They're not going full speed at each other to tackle someone like that. You do have to bear hug him. So he bear hugs and brings him down. The guy sits on top of Brady, or Brady sits on top of him. Like you couldn't have had an easier drop if it was on a bed of pillows.
I think the perception when the play happened live was that Jarrett grabbed him, bear hugged him, and instead of sacking him, threw him to the ground. Do I agree that is roughing the passer? No, I do not think it's roughing the passer. But I think that's why it was called as such. The one on Chris Jones in the Kansas City game, which we can get into,
didn't see.
That is a whole other story. That was
terrible.
Well, here's the problem with that one is Chris Jones.
What happened?
In the motion of Chris Jones sacking David Carr, he was also going for the strip sack. He was trying to knock the ball out of Mahomes' hand, and the ball came loose. And at that point, Jones left going for the sack, avoiding Carr, and tried to get the fumble. And when he got the fumble, he wound up landing on top of Carr. That's what the penalty is called. The penalty is called because he landed on him with his body weight, but he's going for the loose ball.
So which one do you think is worse? Because the Brady one was just stupid.
I think they're both ridiculous.
They're both ridiculous. I think they're both terrible, terrible calls.
Well,
Brady
didn't he have the ball in his hands? When
Brady
he
or
felt it? No, Jones. Didn't he have the ball in his hand? Like
Jones had that ball.
He had the ball.
And
by the way, I'm on my phone until my computer restarts. This fucking thing sucks.
So
Jones did recover the fumble, but when he recovered the fumble, it was in the sack motion, and he landed on top of Carr. So
exactly what is he supposed to do is the problem. So
what are you supposed to do?
So
the thing with Brady was more egregious, I think.
Yeah,
because there could be a case made. There could be a case made for the for landing on him. I mean, that something's got to change there. But there is no excuse for what happened with the Brady thing.
Not at all.
So do you think that either one of those calls decides the game? Because that was a close game with the Raiders, and that was it
could have decided the Atlanta game.
Yeah,
it could have decided the Atlanta game. It actually worked in the Raiders' favor in the Chiefs game because the Raiders got the ball back. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't lose the ball on the fumble. So I think it benefited the Raiders. I absolutely think Tampa Bay was up 21-7 at that point. Atlanta had
no, they 21.
Oh, it was 21-13.
It was 21-13
then. So
it was 21-13 then.
And that's a sack that could end a drive. And I think it absolutely affected that game.
For sure.
Yeah. I just don't know that they could have come back. But I mean, I don't any given Sunday.
But they weren't given the opportunity to come back because of what's really, a kitten call.
But I think with what happened with Tua and just the way that things are going, I think they are going to make more of those calls, and that's just something we're all going to have to we want to see them hit each other and we want to see the football part, but with how serious they're taking the concussions or not serious in some cases, like the rest of this year, they're going to be really, really on top of it.
Yeah, you are 100% right. You are 100%. I was watching NFL Live or ESPN this afternoon after work, and they had some stat on like the number of roughing the passer calls are down like 60% or something from last year at this time. So the players are really trying to follow these rules, no concussions, not landing on the player. So in that regard, it's working, but you still can't just call a penalty because somebody landed on top of each other. I mean, that happens.
Well, and Brady asked for it when he gets up and he's like
Brady did ask for it. You are correct.
I mean, I don't know what he does in the aftermath, after the games, in the locker rooms with the referees, but like, no, and I love him, but I do know that very aware of the fact that he gets away with everything.
Let me give you a slightly different opinion. Since this all ties back to Tua, because the NFL is always they're never down the middle. They're always too late to do something or too quick to do something. They never take the pulse of what's really going on. So this all ties back to Tua. I don't really care if they throw a flag on every play that hits the quarterback. The highest paid employee on the field is the most important employee.
Well, there's also something to be
if you're a fan base like Miami or New England that 1 year, when you lose your guy, it's over. It's over for the whole fan base. So I don't care if they throw the flag, but I am on the Chris Jones side that it should be reviewable. But they should just have one guy for that. One guy, you should get like 90 seconds to make this review. Because that year when they reviewed pass interference calls was the worst officiating year ever. And I don't want it to become that, where they're like, oh, did he have a ball where he got the fumble? With his arm bracing? I mean, just go right into it.
Well, so you don't want them to be ACC officials either, man. So it's like they gotta, Oh, speaking of, I don't know what I missed in the 7 minutes, but I do want to rehash one thing, Ferg. Two things. Number one, I already said it on the group chat. I was gone in Colorado, and then last week got back from Colorado, so on the same Wednesday. So one thing is I did call the Miami win against Buffalo before I left.
Yeah, that's ancient history.
Also, what happened to your boys? Why can they not beat Carolina ever?
I'm a Central Piedmont Community College fan. I don't know what you're talking about.
Your boys cannot beat us, bro. Yeah, it's Debo mind control at this point. So
damn them Tar Heels. Back to the regularly scheduled program.
Right. So with roughing the passer, I think one possible solution, Jeff's right. We don't want to go back to the year of reviewing penalties. That year where they reviewed PIs was the longest game, longest season, worst thing ever. I do think one possibility is let a coach use one of his challenges, rewrite the rules here, and let roughing the passer be a challengeable call. Now, the rules have to be more succinct. Landing on a player full force, are you going for a fumble? What are the exceptions? So there needs to be a review of the rules, because right now you can challenge it, but the review is still going to be based on whatever the rule is currently.
For sure.
So allowing a coach to use a challenge to review a roughing the passer or a pass interference. It's your challenge. You get two of them. If you make two of them, you get a third. You want to use them how you want to use them. That's one of the
problems. One of the problems with the call is that it's a judgment call, right? Mm-hmm. And so you're talking about reviewing a judgment call, and so
is it a judgment when it's a mandate? Is it really a judgment? But
it has to be for them to call that call like they did the last two, right? It has to be a judgment call.
Yeah, I mean, as a Saints fan, I have a lot to say about calls and judgments and stuff. So
you do.
I mean, I'm all about.
So here's my question with the
late hits and whatnot.
If their rule is that long as he's in the pocket and he's attempting to throw the ball, he's defenseless.
Right.
So at what point, when Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson has the ball cocked back and they realize, hey, there's no linebackers in front of me, I can just go get this easy 11 yards and I just take off running, and they get contacted right then, at what point do they become a runner as opposed to being a QB?
As soon as they tuck that ball.
Because I can see this working out real bad for any mobile quarterbacks.
Or you just know that when Tom Brady retires, it's going to stop. That's like the other way to go.
I mean, there is something to be said for the Tom Brady thing. There is something to be said for the Tom Brady thing. So I completely understand that.
All right, so we'll veer away. All
right, let's move on, because I have something to say about this next topic.
And we're going to go to one of our least favorite people on the earth. Well, he's not
hands down. I have some funness for this. Is
that a word?
Funness.
I think we're skipping. We won't skip. Well, let's skip over 2 and go to 3. I think we're gonna
go to number 3.
We'd rather go to 3.
Oh man, okay, but don't forget to go back to our second.
We're gonna go back. I think we'd rather go to Brett.
Clint's got something on his mind.
I got something to say
Lauren
about
has
that.
some things about Brett Favre that she'd like to share with the rest of the world.
We'll let Lauren take this. I'll have to go get my popcorn.
No, so I was gonna save the one thing to share. So I don't watch the news. I stopped watching it when dipshit Trump was elected, and then once he was gone, I felt this peace, and I didn't want to watch the news even more so. So I didn't see. So I watched this after you brought it up, and I hate Brett Favre. Like, I hate him. He's just a horrible person. So what we were talking about before, if anybody missed this, I don't know, was 10 years ago when he got in trouble for sexual harassment and got away with it. And I don't like him as a person in general, but apparently he's now involved in the largest welfare redistribution of funds. Is that how you want to put it? Like, stealing of welfare. He stole millions of dollars of welfare. Scam in state history, in the Mississippi state history.
Allegedly.
In the poorest state.
The poorest state
in the nation.
This motherfucker is taking welfare money away from the poor, and he is. How much do you think that? How much? You know what? Let me look.
100 mil.
100 mil? Yeah, he's worth.
No, it's more.
So he couldn't just buy a volleyball facility on his own.
100 mil
Or his daughter.
I'm saying he's worth more, but net he could come up with 100 mil each.
So how does this go? He has a drug for concussions. He gets the state involved and to fund it, and then he filters money. Did he keep the money? Is that what he bought a volleyball court for his daughter's alma mater?
For the ad
his net worth is
he never did.
His net worth is
he funneled money to his daughter to try to get a volleyball center built at Southern Miss,
which would also be a wellness center.
Wellness center where any random Mississippian can walk in, which we know that is not true. And then he also,
what type of Mississippian?
Just a regular. No, I guess they had to play it like it was for everyone.
And also he got paid money
to do ads,
to make appearances that he didn't. They were no-show appearances. Took the money, wound up repaying that 1.1 million, but now the state wants $280,000 back in interest charges that he's not paying.
And then he was supposed to give the money to the state to work on the drug. And then I heard that Australia is the one working on the drug. And then this was my favorite part. His lawyer is Trump's lawyer.
Well, that tells you all you need to know.
The thing here is that every single person who is associated with what went down in Mississippi has pled guilty and is working with the authorities, except for Favre, who is screaming his innocence to everybody on Fox News
that will listen.
Everybody on Fox that will listen. And it's just not a good dude.
I can give you a preview who's going to get an ass award for the week. Preview right there.
So the fact that I looked up, because I listen to, instead of news, I listen to a lot of podcasts. Samantha's laughing, right? I say that every other sentence. I heard this podcast. So I was listening to this podcast. It's called You Were Wrong About, and it goes through news stories back in the 80s, 90s. It's an awesome show. They were going through the welfare scandal of the 80s, and Ronald Reagan comes out and said that some woman he had her down for $150,000 she stole from the welfare by lying, making up, having kids. Where all the this is like where the stereotypes started. So this is a black woman. They're accusing her of $150,000 stealing, and this is why they revamped welfare, and this is why everybody rags on welfare now, because it's so easy to steal from. So this Brett Favre, it's 2022, he stole millions. This woman, this is actually what she stole. She stole $8,000. 23 checks was $8,000, and she got 2 to 6 years in prison. Brett Favre isn't even charged. And this, like, to me, it's like, okay, so this black woman does this, and you guys throw the book at her, and you make her into like this public figure. And this motherfucker has like Wrangler jeans on, or whatever. What is it, Wrangler? He advertises, sexually harassing people. His stupid
Copper fit, yeah.
His fucking old white ass steals all this money from these people who needed it, and not only that, but he's doing it during a pandemic when nobody has jobs. Like, what is wrong with that guy?
Just
so like I would love to see. He's great, but he's also like this like. He's a Fox News white dude that can afford Trump's attorney, so he will get away with it.
Now,
So
that is what's wrong with America.
With Brett Favre, not to be honest, but just to say on Brett Favre, do you notice how 10 to 15 years down the road, as we get here, as we start to move away from what was the first Trump era, where you can like that kind of MAGA type attitude era where it was real prevalent. Do you notice how all of these folks that we used to revere are all tied into the same circles?
Yes,
I'm not really with a
they were all on that island. What's that guy's name? The island.
I'm Trump's lawyer. Now I'm your lawyer.
Yes.
I'm Trump's guy. I was Trump's
Epstein.
guy. I was his personal Epstein. Like 15 years ago, we was thinking Trump's this clown guy on The Apprentice harassing Omarosa every Sunday.
And Omarosa's on his damn cabinet.
Looking ahead like, oh my, Obama's on the way. Yep. Gays, Jews, blacks. It's going to be great. We're all going to be singing Kumbaya. And then this motherfucker was
all right. And we do like to say one more thing about that. We do have to worry about that again coming up soon. And that's depressing. So
yeah, unfortunately.
Jeff, you're frozen again, bro. I'm not
because
really
nobody can find a reason to put him in jail.
Yeah, well, they're working on it. There you go. You're better.
They've been working on that for.
I'm not getting political here, but Merrick Garland will indict Trump.
Is that because he stole his job from him? Because I know listen. I have a lot to say about him. I won't say a lot about Merrick Garland, but he's like that's my boy, and like by all means,
too far down the rabbit hole.
But I just like Brett Favre is like just the epitome of this whole like what you're saying, privilege. Jeff. Like the last like.
Privilege.
6 years, it's been like such a and just to watch it even.
It's a perfect word. It's pure privilege.
Yep. And it's athletic privilege, it's white privilege, it's man privilege, it's white man privilege, it's whatever privilege you want to put on it celebrity privilege that he's getting.
Yeah, he got away with the sexual assault.
Right. I mean, but you this isn't the first instance of this and it won't be the last.
No,
right?
It's just really well said. The biggest scandal of welfare, like that's where I'm like, this is of course the biggest welfare scandal is a rich white dude. Yeah. That's what I took from it.
Like, what do you expect? You know what I mean? It's like, why wouldn't it be, Lauren?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Because they're the ones that get away with it, right? Yeah. We're the ones that get away with it, Ian.
Somebody
this poor black lady is like starving to death. Is $8,000, and she becomes a public icon.
6 years ago.
Real quick, Vals, we'll get to that because that's kind of ridiculous. I need to figure out what that's about. Is there anything else you guys want to say about the Brett Favre thing?
No, let's leave Brett.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go harass somebody else.
Let's go towards what Val is asking, kind of, and talk about the incident with Davante Adams.
Oh, good transition there.
Right. I thought the question was about. Okay, that's a good point.
So let me tell you, I was like when I saw that the photographer pressed charges. My first thought was, of course he did.
Yes.
Right? My second thought is like I don't blame Davante Adams. Like, I don't know if I'm in the minority here because it seems that I am. Because if some dude runs across and jumps out in front of me when I'm walking and I'm not looking at him.
And pissed.
And I'm pissed.
It might be just a reaction, you guys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he like immediately apologized. If he didn't apologize and shit and said something like, that dude shouldn't have been in my way, then that's a different story. Like, this dude took accountability, apologized, and then this dude pressed charges.
Well, of course he did, because he's like, how much money does Davante Adams make? Like, he all of a sudden has PTSD, concussion.
Sure, whatever. Like,
whatever else he comes up with.
If he has a concussion.
Oh, I'm just making it up. I'm just saying.
You don't know how it landed. The funniest thing about that whole thing that I thought was the funniest was, I think it was ESPN that reported it like 30 minutes later, whoever Adam Schefter or whoever it was says the photographer was taken to the hospital with what appears to be non-life-threatening injuries. ESPN was straight trolling him. Listen, Clint, you are right. If I'm walking down and somebody jumps in front of me, I don't know if he's got a fucking knife. I don't know if he's got a gun. I don't know if he's coming at me. If you come at me, I'm pushing it down at a minimum.
Did they really say non-life-threatening injuries?
Non-life-threatening. They trolled the hell out of him. It was great.
That takes me back to a couple weeks ago when Mac Jones, this is like a little bit of fantasy talk, when Mac Jones sprained his ankle, right?
Oh, really no. Okay.
So the reports are Mac Jones sprained ankle. Majority of people would need surgery. He is not really.
I felt so okay. I had a sprain just like that a year and a half ago, and I have been in the emergency room with orthopedics more times than I can count. But that is awful. Lauren, I tried to stand up. I actually almost passed out.
No, but when they said most would have to have surgery, he is not. Like, for real? Like, I understand it's a sprained ankle. I understand that it could be surgery. Why say?
Why not say he was crying?
It would require surgery.
Like Schefter or whoever reported it like 30, 40 minutes later. I didn't even think about him getting charged for no crime. The very first thing I thought of was
me either.
What white guy jumped in front of Devontae?
Look.
Some white guy jumped in front of
Have you seen the footage?
To get a chick.
You guys have all seen the footage.
He falls on his ass. Like it's
the first thing I thought was the first thing I thought was he might get charged, and if he gets charged, he's going to settle out of court for $100,000 because Devontae got that bank.
Bro, I would send him a card if I was Devontae Adams with $100,000 check in it, like you said, and be like,
"Go away."
I'm glad your non-life-threatening injuries are okay.
Now, I do see there was an alert that came up. It was a misreport that he was not filed against assault.
I would rather have
an assault charge. He got.
The filing of charges is ultimately to the Kansas City, assault police department, whatever.
Well, he got charged with a violation of a city ordinance. It's not.
What is that?
Misdemeanor. No, he got charged with misdemeanor assault.
Yeah.
No. They just reported
they changed it.
Oh, did
they said it's incorrect.
Okay.
So
here's
the maximum
the thing.
We're looking at is 180 days, or he can get fined up to like $1,000.
He'll get 1 year of probation, and he'll write the guy a check for
$50,000. He needs to just give him a Bitcoin, isn't that what
it's less expensive for him to actually take the charge.
Give him a Bitcoin.
It will be less expensive to walk in court and just take the charge.
You know what? This all goes back to when that woman sued McDonald's because the coffee was too hot.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
It all goes back to that. It all goes back to that. But
go ahead.
Accomplished what she wanted to accomplish because we're still talking about it today.
So hold on. In respect to this woman, I have to tell. That's another podcast I listen to. I have to get. Do you know they fabricated that so badly? She actually didn't win any money.
Good.
So no, hold on. So she spills the coffee because I feel so bad for this woman. I didn't realize how bad the wounds were. So she's older. Old people get the frail skin. It actually burned her down through her muscle into her bone, and she passed out. Her grandson was driving. So she dropped it in her lap. The sweatpants she had on absorbed the hot water or the hot coffee, and then it burned through her flesh down. Okay. So what she had asked for, the McDonald's to cover her medical bills. She said, I don't want anything else. Can you just pay the $10,000 for the hospital stay and the skin grafts or whatever? And McDonald's said no. Okay. So she gets lawyers involved. Then they push it. She's old. She's actually an older lady and a Republican. So she just wanted her medical bills paid. So anyway, it ends up going to court. They give her the settlement is how much McDonald's would make in a weekend of coffee. That's it. And then she didn't end up getting it anyway because then it got appealed. She got nothing. And then she died.
So let me ask a question because obviously I don't know enough about this. And
I didn't either. I just listened to it.
We're going down a little rabbit hole, so I just want to ask.
We went way
I had to because I feel so bad for that lady.
No, but let me ask a question because the people are going to want to know at this point. Was the lid not on right or something, or was the coffee just hot? Because if she
this is before the coffee. The cup said caution, contents may be hot.
Oh my God.
That's what came out of this.
The temperature that they had the coffee was above and beyond what it should have been. It was dangerous. Yeah, I forget that it was 104. I don't know. It was something above boiling, so it melted her skin.
This coffee's hot.
It is.
Anyway,
But they took it like excessive.
Did you go for cold coffee?
So
I mean, was that a thing back then? Was that a thing back then?
I'll send it to you because it was a really cool podcast because it was about this exact thing. It's about frivolous lawsuits that we, the public, think of one way, and actually when you hear the actual lawsuit is completely different.
So anyway, let's circle back. Let's circle back to the Davante Adams. So
same situation. He's now got PTSD and broken arms and shit, and really he just fell on his ass. It's the same.
Right. So Ferg, check it out. So what do you think about this? Because you haven't really chimed in so much. So to me, you guys have seen the video. The dude just straight up runs across with his fucking.
Well, why did he? What was he trying to get to?
He's a freelance
why didn't he wait 2 seconds?
Cameraman. He's just trying to get a shot. So I don't blame him.
No, but he was running, dude. Like he ran across his path, and
Devontae's freelance photographer.
I just don't understand why he needed to go to walk across the path anyway. I feel like that should
fall on the NFL. If you have all, if you're gonna
roughing the cameraman,
roughing the cameraman.
Yeah, you've got all these players out here. Like there's no thought of player safety at the end of these games when there are so many people on the field where things can happen in such a hurry. Like what if this guy ran past Devontae and it's like, fuck your mother. Some shit like that. You better say some slick shit. Maybe that's what caused him to get pushed. We have no idea. We don't know. So when these things happen, I think they ought to get these players off the field. Stop maybe like
what about the other guy?
Everybody got to hug and kiss on each other after you just whooped our ass. Like why? Go to
who's the Rams defensive player? Is it Brandon June? Who's the Rams guy that like tackled that guy that ran out on the field with the pink
Bobby
smoke?
Wagner.
Oh,
Bobby Wagner. There you go. So that guy's suing Bobby Wagner now, or trying to press charges. Like, bro, you ran on the field, and Bobby just made sure that they could get security couldn't catch him, so Bobby hits him, which is also hilarious.
Yeah, that was rough in the pass. That was rough in the passer. What he did to that guy was rough in the pass.
But he had to stop him. And I don't understand the pink smoke thing. Was that seriously a gender reveal?
I thought it was a gender reveal. That wasn't a gender
some
reveal?
asshole ran onto the field during the game to do a gender reveal.
He loved his woman.
That's really what happened? Wow.
No, it wasn't a gender reveal because I thought that was a joke.
I thought so too, but it's like, why did he have pink smoke?
I thought the gender reveal thing was a joke, but by the way, like that shit, that's worse than the Davante Adams thing. Like 100%. This dude should have been tackled by Bobby Wagner. He deserved to be tackled by Bobby Wagner. He deserved to be tackled by Ray fucking Lewis or Lawrence Taylor.
He did take it like a champ though.
Yeah, but then he fucking sued him.
He tried to press his charges. Bobby Wagner was just like, sit down. He went in with his shoulder. He didn't lead with his head. It wasn't like he did it. It was total legal hit.
What if he would have been out there with his pants down?
If I am Bobby Wagner,
then that would have been Brett Favre.
Do you tackle a dude with his pants down?
If I'm Bobby Wagner and I'm on the sideline and some dude is running towards me holding a pink flare with smoke coming out, I don't know what's coming out of that. I'm protecting myself.
But the security guys were behind him and they couldn't get the guy. So I think
all security guys are like 300 pounds.
Yeah, so Bobby was just trying to help him out. He said, "Here, watch this." I put that shit on Facebook because that was funny. That was a good hit to Bobby. That was a good one.
All right, so let's jump. Let's twist Devontae over to Val's question. Let's bring this.
Yes, let's do that, Ferg.
And let's slide down the rabbit hole of fantasy for a few seconds here.
All right.
Trade Marquise from Hollywood Brown.
I have a question.
Devontae and Garrett Wilson in a 2-3. That's what I'm like.
I have a question. I don't know what 2-3 means, but also who in the hell would trade you Davante Adams and Garrett Wilson for Marquise? Like,
somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, or
whoever that is, take the trade, but feel bad about it.
Don't feel bad.
No, feel bad about it.
If he's not going to get suspended, Kamara didn't get suspended. He's not going to get suspended.
It doesn't matter if Devontae gets suspended. If he does, it's for one game.
I'm not trading Devontae Adams for nothing.
But if he gets suspended, it'll be one game.
Nobody that's on that screen. Not even both of them together. For Devontae. No, I'm good.
Yeah, no. So if somebody is offering you that trade, Val's 1 bazillion% accept it and accept it right now and hope that they haven't taken it away yet.
All right, so we already have given our fact that we have a disdain for Thursday night football, but since we're here, we're obliged to speak about it for a moment. So let's look at it. We already know the real game's gonna suck. So let's look at it from the fantasy perspective here. Fantasy players that you are willing to play tomorrow night and go.
All right, so I'll start. I would be willing 1,000,000% to play David Montgomery.
Oh, I'm with you.
Samantha, you heard that. See, I didn't give you the tip, David Montgomery.
Just because he's really the only one here worth playing, because obviously Ron Rivera doesn't believe in Carson Wentz, which we can talk about if you'd like to.
I have to play Carson Wentz in the show league, and I'm not happy about it.
Lauren, that's fine though, because this dude is the quarterback 9 on the year right now.
It doesn't matter. It's still like I hate the quarterback situation in general is awful this year.
Carson has been great for fantasy purposes.
He's hurt though.
Yeah. Well, okay. Carson is Carson. He's not very good, but he's.
It's in DC, isn't it?
He's okay. No, it's in Chicago.
It's in Chicago.
Jesus.
Yeah. And so he's okay.
Play Montgomery.
Right? So definitely play Montgomery. You have to play McLaurin because of draft capital. You drafted him to be your number one.
I have him in
so you have to play him.
Three of my 4 leagues. So I don't have a choice.
You have to play him. You know, Jahan Dotson, nobody knows if he's gonna play yet.
What about who was the other guy? De'Ami Brown, yeah.
Can we talk about this dude for a second? Those 2 catches were unbelievable. That second touchdown catch was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Not touching him.
Right.
Not touching
This
him.
dude had 2 catches, right, on the day, and it was 2 touchdowns, right? Like,
is that you think that was the best catch? Was that the best catch of the week though?
Oh, it had to have been. No.
Justin Fields.
No.
Yes, Justin Fields.
No, Gabe Davis
was.
Gabe
Davis
had that 98 yards is tough to do.
I'll give you 2 sleepers for
Darnell
this
Mooney
Thursday's
does the
game.
one-handed.
Darnell Mooney sucks because Justin Fields.
Darnell Mooney's was good.
Does Justin Fields
tomorrow's
suck,
game? No.
He doesn't suck. He sucks at throwing the ball.
2 sleepers for tomorrow's game. Chicago's defense and Washington's defense.
Actually, that's actually not a bad. So on Thursday night,
that's not terrible.
You could probably get away with playing the defenses for Thursday night games because it's always such a low-scoring, shitty game.
Does Minnesota have any more?
Let's say the home team defense.
No, but I played their defense and ate shit. So,
but we played Minnesota this Sunday, though.
If Minnesota has any more prime time games, play their defense. Whoever's playing against them,
they show out. They do show out.
They don't show up to 1 o'clock
Kirk
games.
Cousins sucks, bro.
You talking about visitors?
Yeah, I have
Kirk
to play
Cousins.
him too.
No, Kirk Cousins sucks in prime time. So no matter what, Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night, Kirk Cousins is fucking garbage. So whoever the Vikings are playing, if it's a primetime game, start their defense.
So if your quarterback is Derek Carr and he's on a bye week this week, are you willing to play Justin Fields?
No.
Are you
what choice do you have at this point? Because the quarterback is bad this year.
I'll give you this guy, and then we'll go Justin Fields. Mariota, Justin Fields.
Mariota's playing the 49ers.
Wentz.
Jones, Justin Fields.
Jones.
Not Daniel Jones.
No, I love Daniel Jones.
Miami.
Jones are you talking about?
He's already he's QB9.
Skylar Thompson.
Not Skylar Thompson. No.
Skylar Thompson.
No, Carson Wentz out of everybody.
Undrafted. Or Justin Fields. Which one?
Carson Wentz.
We're not looking at the matchups?
Skylar Thompson for Miami. Undrafted rookie. Going to start.
Justin Fields, because you don't know if Tyreek's going to play.
Tyreek's going to play.
You don't know if Tyreek's going to play. As of right now, we don't know.
I started taking notes, so I'm looking at the matchups now.
PJ Walker or Justin Fields?
Justin Fields.
I might go PJ Walker.
I don't know if I wouldn't go PJ Walker if for some odd reason somebody is starting PJ Walker, but I don't know. So, okay, let's talk about this real quick.
Kenny Pickett, I think, is an interesting one.
Yeah, but we can talk about that too. So I want to talk. So let's finish off this Thursday night. So who at the running back position, if you had to play a running back for the Commanders?
Jeff. Let
me take this. So this is not collusion because we can pre-announce this. Plus, we screenshot everything. We have text messages.
We do. Lauren
and I have been discussing a trade for like a week or so.
Yeah, because I have Jonathan Taylor and I have Jamal Williams.
Whoa, Jamal! Oh, okay.
So you see where this is going.
I had
Kareem Hunt and Mark Ingram.
Najee Harris. I have numerous backs in her.
He's a lot.
Like I have 8. The maximum is 8 you can carry. I have 8.
Okay, J.E. What are you doing over there?
I know, right?
I also have
J.E. over here.
I also
he doesn't have
Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. So
well, you don't anymore. You dropped Antonio Gibson.
I have offered Lauren Najee Harris and her pick of Gibson or Robinson or Jonathan Taylor.
And
she say, can we just wait and see who's the starter?
I said because I wanted to do Jacobs
and in my graciousness,
Harris.
I said fine.
I said
I'll
Jacobs.
still take JT even without that.
Can I butt in on this?
Go
a non-biased opinion. I want to butt in on this. Before the season started, Antonio Gibson was named the punt returner.
Yeah, so I know, and I have Brian Robinson, and that's why I drafted him. I just my team. I'm 1-4 right now. My team sucks.
It requires some shakeup.
I know, and I'm still thinking about it.
It does require a shakeup, and Lauren, let me tell you, I have a perfect example. I have a perfect example of this. I had Josh Jacobs 2 years ago.
Would you take that trade, Clint?
Yes.
Ooh, see now I just want to say cue it up.
Which side would you take?
I would be giving JT for Najee Harris and Brian Robinson.
Yes, and let me tell you why I would take that.
And then that gives Jeff. But then he has Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, and
it's a
Kamara.
PPR league, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So is it a full point PPR or half point PPR?
Full.
Okay, so I would definitely take it. I would definitely take it because Kenny Pickett is going to figure out eventually if Mike Tomlin has to force him that.
All right, let's do it, Jeff.
That Najee is the guy that's going out of the backfield because they don't with
keep talking, Clint. I'm gonna send it right now.
They have Pickens and Deontay Johnson, right?
Yes. And by the way, Ian, I lost the one league that I wanted to win more than anything because someone had to tell me that DJ wouldn't do shit. So I played.
So let me ask you a question. In this league, do y'all trade for draft picks? Because if so,
no.
I think you should
this is a redraft.
Okay.
This is a redraft.
Okay, well, still.
All right.
Still.
It's coming up.
Still, Ian. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can still trade, like, because Ferg could trade.
You see this comment over here?
I
am offended by this comment over here.
I don't know. Yeah.
I am offended.
Yeah.
Trade
as a Celtic
codes. Y'all saw it. Jonathan Taylor, first round pick.
Did you take Brian? Did you take Tom?
Yeah, because
I don't even know what she's saying.
Oh my God,
I'm convinced
Lauren.
that on a female no, you don't get to talk.
No,
to me
I agree
lost
with you,
because of DJ. I lost because of DJ because I was like, Ian said sit him. I'm going to sit him, and then I played Christian Kirk and I lost by 6
got 11 points. That's not
said it, but Christian Kirk got.
Sometimes you got to make some changes in these lines.
That's why I said, and not for Brandon because Brandon offered me Zeke and somebody else that wasn't like
I have
Swift or something.
Oh my God, you accepted it. Oh my God, Lauren.
All right, so look, let's circle back to this. Let's circle back to this game because we're
Cheers, Jeff. Cheers. Let's drink to it. You're frozen, but we'll drink. Ready?
We're getting off topic here. Let's
toast to Jeff's impending championship.
Well, Ian,
I'm 1-4.
I would not necessarily say that because Indianapolis clearly cannot throw the ball. And so there's issues there. So anyway, but let's get back to this Thursday night game. So can we talk about the fact that the over-under is 38 points?
Why?
I'm taking the under.
For who?
Under, yeah.
Total.
Under 8 points.
It's total 38 points over-under.
I would love for some of that to go. It's going to be a shitty game.
It's going to be like a 6-3 game.
Oh, and the money line is even.
9-6.
They're talking about 16 or 18 to 18, 19 to 19. Like, how insane is that? Like,
I might watch Bachelor with Lauren.
Oh, for
Bachelor
sure.
in Paradise too, dude. There's
Bachelor in
like
Paradise.
10 women and 10 men.
The only reason I would watch the Thursday night game is for De'Ami Brown. That's shout out to my Tar Heels and him being dominant in college and showing what he can do in the.
I don't know why I'm going to watch football. I know
I'm going to watch football.
I don't even know why I'm lying to myself. I'm going to watch
for sure. All right, so let me ask you an interesting fantasy question. Right.
All right.
So do you start Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson, or Khalil Herbert in this game?
No.
No.
Right, but if you had to choose,
if I'm choosing,
if I had to choose,
so
Robinson.
as a female, yeah, I was gonna say as a female, that's gonna go with the like female intuition, like you got shot, but you're back, it's okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Robinson.
Yeah, I get that.
I go Gibson.
It's a story. It's a story. It's like the story. If he gets shot, comes back and like destroys everything
for sure,
tomorrow night.
especially on prime time.
Yeah,
so what do you think?
What do you think? I think it's gonna be the reality TV show.
He played last week.
Robinson.
They want Robinson to be the starter. He would have been the starter. If before he got shot, he would have been the starter. Like I said, Gibson would have been the punt returner.
They do.
He wouldn't even be the third down back because McKissick is the third down back.
Yep.
So.
Yep, that's facts. Okay, so I do want to talk something about fantasy before we move on from the fantasy aspect. So Ferg and I have a league. It's no secret. It's the championship that you see here that we've been in for 20 years, and I won last year. So we have a friend, J.E., who is a friend of the program, who everybody knows. So shout out to J.E. if you're listening, bro. He needed a running back, and we play Fab Dollars.
You did this to him recently?
Yeah, this is week.
Today.
Did he take Jamal Williams again?
We had 100 Fab Dollars. This is worse. We have 100 Fab Dollars to start the year, right? So J.E. decided that Kenneth Walker deserved 100.
All 100.
All
done. All 100 done.
Today?
So I had $93. I bid 67, and obviously I lost because J.E. bid 100.
I would have done the same thing.
He bid it all. He got him. Right?
Would have done it.
So Ian, I know you're in. It seems like you're in. If you have $105, you're spending it on Kenneth Walker. Lauren, what do you think?
That's terrible.
All of it.
Who am I spending it on after a couple of glasses of wine?
Yeah.
All of it.
I get that. All right.
Taysom Hill, 100%.
I didn't dabble because we have a group chat for this league.
We do.
And the conversation about this Fab Dollar expense let me know early I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
My backs are decent. My backs I felt like were decent. I didn't feel like I should jump into that pool.
No, seriously though.
Another wide receiver
why
spot,
wouldn't you
I have
spend your
five
fab?
studs at wide out that I can't play.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you spend your fab on Taysom?
So can I jump in on this? So I want to answer your question, Lauren. So I heard something very interesting today.
Okay.
So Taysom Hill's worst week, he's a QB tight end on Yahoo.
Right.
Okay. So his worst week is 8.2 points.
So
better than Darren Waller.
Well, that's kind of what I think. Like, as long I should say it like this: as long as they have him in the tight end slot or tight end court. So, like this week, I'm playing him in every DFS. You should because if you can put him put him as a tight end and he ends up playing quarterback, then you're gonna smoke everyone. But that's why I picked him up wherever I could and put him in my tight end spot. Because when they switch him back to quarterback, you guys start thinking about it harder.
Okay, so after we get off this fantasy thing, why don't we slide in a few seconds of DFS and let you talk about that, and Ian, if you know about it, because I don't play DFS and Meryl's not here. So if Ferg, I know.
Yeah,
Lauren Lauren can talk about it for days. So after we finish up the fantasy segment, so if anybody has any other fantasy questions, we'll definitely try to answer them here. I do have another question. What about this Benjamin kid from Arizona?
Benjamin?
Yeah,
Benjamin.
So he's going to get the start this week. He had a very good week last week. So what are we thinking about this Benjamin kid?
It's the Cardinals.
Honestly, I didn't put him on my. He's not on my list.
So let me ask you
5 guys, but he's not one of them.
So let me ask you a question. What if hypothetical situation? James Conner was out 4 weeks.
Which is totally possible because
which is totally possible.
Yeah, I would try to avoid Benjamin every.
Well, no. Hold on, Ferg. So next week, not this week. Next week,
Nuke is back.
D-Hop comes back.
Exactly.
So not this week. Next week, D-Hop comes back. So you have
there is no more running game.
So you have Hollywood and you have D-Hop. So why wouldn't there be more opportunity for the running game to have a better game? Not necessarily more opportunities, but a better game because of
you're not chasing
outside.
Because you're not looking at the Cardinals. Because you're not looking at the Cardinals as an entity.
But you're not chasing points.
The Cardinals don't do the Cardinals try to run it in the first half. They never can. They fall behind.
And then they abandon
all they do is throw.
How many yards? Can somebody look this up real quick? How many yards did James Conner have last year? because
Last
he was
year?
a top
last week.
Ian should
No,
have
last
that
year.
memorized.
Last year because he was a top 10 fantasy back last year. I want to say he was the top 7 fantasy
You
back.
know why he was? Because I traded him
all
to Jeff.
PPR though. It was all PPR.
No, it's touchdowns and PPR. Right. So how many rushing yards did he have last year?
I'll look it up.
He only had 752, but he had 15 touchdowns.
How many passing yards? How many receiving yards did he have?
Probably 500.
Ask Jeff. He's got him in front of him. It's on his team.
Okay, so we had 1,072 total yards.
And 18 total touchdowns.
In 17 games, this dude had 1,072 total yards, but he was in the top 10 in fantasy because
he doesn't score. If he doesn't score, though,
he's touchdown dependent.
So this is what I'm saying. So because they've looked bad in the first couple weeks because this dude is not the yardage guy.
But
Benjamin may be the yardage guy.
Clint, what we don't know is Connor was a point vulture last year because of the PPR, because of the touchdowns.
Hopkins and the rest of them should have had a whole lot more touchdowns.
We don't know how Eno is out of the backfield. You can't count on Eno catching 30, 40, 50, 60 passes over the rest of this year.
I just don't trust Kingsbury.
I agree with that. But can you
and Hollywood? I think Kyler Murray is the guy.
I'm not touching Arizona's back. I'm not touching any of that.
Well, okay, so full disclosure here, he was the number 2 waiver wire pickup of the week in fantasy football.
See, the way I have it is Geno Smith,
not surprising.
Taysom Hill,
Geno Smith is already rostered at this point, though, Lauren. This dude's
not everywhere. Tevin Coleman, I put on here. Damn,
he's the number 8 fantasy.
Maybe in a 10 man.
Yeah, and there's some places Geno. Although I'm at this point like willing to trade anybody for Geno.
Hey, I'll give you Russell Wilson for Geno.
Hey, Lauren,
I don't have Geno, but I would if I did.
Anybody?
Yeah,
Lauren, I have Geno in our any given Sunday league.
No, I have Joe Burrow in that league. You're good. You're good.
Look, that's turning into a personal back wheeling and dealing.
Look, we can talk about some Joe Burrow. He's been good for me. I'm not really hating on him. So far so good.
I have to completely change the subject really quick here, and I just want to say in our family league, Samantha just sent this to me. She's supposed to whoop my ass this week, so let's just put this on record. That's what Jeff and I were talking about yesterday.
All right,
I already told you what to do.
I know you did, but I know.
All right, y'all. So let's
What do you do when you love the? I don't know. I won't be sad if I lose. Is basically the conversation that Jeff and I had.
Well, real quick, let's talk to the people about our league of record here on the show.
And then we got to do ass because I got some good ones.
16-team league. I did win last week. So that was pretty fun. I had a big week from Kamara. Had a good week. Man, fucking Hollywood just went freaking buck wild. And how many targets did he have last week? Like 18. It was bonkers. Mike Williams had a good week, and Cole Kmet finally came and showed up. So we'll see. I won last week, and I think I'm 2-3.
Did I lose last week?
I think I'm 2-3.
I won last week.
So you know what's hard about this league? What?
Some people are like in the top 3.
There's the waiver wires. It's like you look on it and it's like fucking OJ Simpson.
Nobody.
Yeah, it's OJ Simpson, Junior Seau. Like it's ridiculous.
Manti Te'o.
Plug in OJ at tight end.
Look,
the juice
in a 16-team league. Hold on. Let me go to the available players.
Yeah, you should be awful.
I can tell you.
Best available is Jameis Winston and then Cooper Rush. So you don't have to be bad, right?
And then a whole bunch of defenses.
Right. So a whole bunch of defenses.
Carson
so
Wentz or Ryan Tannehill.
The best available position.
Skylar Thompson.
No, hold on.
Randall Cobb.
There is Randall Cobb.
9.4
fantasy points.
In a deep league, you can pick up Randall Cobb, but no.
I don't have a roster.
Randall Cobb is such a hitter. Like It just depends on Aaron's.
Aaron Rodgers loves him.
He does, but it depends on I feel like it's almost like
nigga
Aaron needs to make a point, then he gets Randall Cobb involved.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to make a point, then he doesn't.
Okay, so let me ask you guys a question.
I'm starting Brian Robinson in that league. Shit, I have to start him this week.
Let me ask you guys a question. That's an interesting fantasy question I heard this week. Right? So hold on. I want to bring up the matchup first. So hold on 2 seconds. Let me bring up the matchup. NFL. All right. So would you start Aaron Rodgers at home against the Jets?
Or
Geno Smith at home against the Cardinals?
Geno.
Right. So the quote that was said on this fantasy podcast I was listening to is I would pick Geno, but I'd have to be wearing my steel underwear.
I know. I'm still.
Yeah, you got to stop looking at names.
I hate Aaron Rodgers so much.
That was the question, Ian. Do you stop looking at names?
Got to stop looking at it.
Aaron Rodgers.
Geno has the weapons. If you had
the blind stats up for the AB, I'm 100% positive.
Oh yeah,
Geno's stats look better.
Because
if we did
Aaron Rodgers is throwing to Romeo Dobbs and Alan Lazard, and Geno's like DK. No.
Well, here's the question.
We're talking about fantasy. If we say, I gotta go out and play football
who's
Sunday,
get more points?
Yeah, give me Aaron. Give me Aaron Rodgers.
No, are you kidding me? There's no way. I would not. I will put Geno.
Not my fantasy team.
I will be putting Geno in my DFS leagues, and I don't put Aaron Rodgers in. That's like putting. It's so unreliable. Never.
Jeff, for a real team, Jeff. Yeah.
That's what I said. A real team. NFL,
I will start Aaron Rodgers. He knows how to win.
Nope.
In a real football game? Wait. Hold on. Let's stop for a second. Hold on. Make sure we're clear about the question.
Geno Smith can throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
He'll never be Aaron Rodgers.
And their team
will lose
42 to 41.
If I'm the owner of a football team and you're going to give me, you're keeping the same wide receivers, I'm taking Geno Smith.
In fantasy or real?
No, in real.
How many MVPs does Aaron Rodgers have?
You talking about Aaron Rodgers throwing it to
No, I'm saying if you're asking me if I'm going to be an owner, if I'm going to be the owner of a football team, why do I want negative Nancy with the crying bitch attitude with the wide receivers? It's like Geno Smith is like, but Geno Smith also has the better weapons.
Locker room stuff is different.
Fantasy, it's
so much better. It's better. Geno's better all around.
So here was how the question was proposed. It said, would you trade Russell Wilson, fantasy? Would you trade Russell Wilson for Geno Smith?
Yeah.
Right? And so everybody said yes, and they were like, yeah, Seahawks did. Right? And so it was one of those things. Right?
I would trade Russell Wilson for Kenny Pickett.
That is a good one.
I have Russell Wilson in a 2 QB league with Joe Burrow.
I'm actually going to steal that I'm going to use that a lot now.
I'm 0-5.
You have who? You have Russell Wilson.
Joe Burrow and Russell Wilson in a 2 QB league, and I'm 0-5.
What else? Who else do you have on the?
Oh, do you really want to know?
Well, no, I'm just saying because Joe's not bad.
No, Joe is not bad, and my team is not bad either. So check this out. So Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Mike Williams, Delvin Cook, Breece Hall, Russell Wilson. Then I have Jamal Robinson, D-Hop on the bench.
How are you 0-5?
Right.
All right. Let me tell you about another league. Another league Clint and I play in where I have been starting Russell Wilson. I'm 2-3.
Yeah.
These are my starters outside of Russell Wilson. T. Higgins, Waddle, Barkley, Chubb, Hawkinson, and Dalvin Cook.
What's your name in that league?
Because Russell Wilson scores 3 points every week.
Okay, here's one. I have a team which is currently starting Russell Wilson and Cooper Rush because I had Dak and I picked up Cooper.
Cooper Rush has been great, bro.
Who this league I am 2-0 because there's a media game.
Dude, I am 2-0,
5-0 with Russell and
2-3, 1-4. And 3 and 2. This year I thought I had the best drafts ever, and it's injuries too. Like I picked up Jamal Williams pretty much everywhere.
What the hell he was talking about? Why he wouldn't let Russ cook? I think we got to go back and start giving Pete Carroll some credit about why he just didn't want to play ball.
Before last, Russ had 43 points for me.
I mean,
You
in the certain schools,
I know, Fish. I
so-
get it. Can't get right all-star team. I know
we
it.
should, you know what? We should just go into the
I know
ass
it.
of the week at that point.
All right, Ferg. So, like, that's a good segue, Lauren.
Yeah.
Ferg, let's talk about your ass of the week.
Oh! I have a couple of them
Because
written
it is an hour and 5 minutes or hour and 3 minutes that we've been
Yeah,
on.
we're an hour
And
now.
so we're coming up on your ass of the week award. And Kamish, look, I get it, bro. I get it. Like, for sure we are. And that's just the way that fantasy works. Unfortunately, this is the year of the wide receivers, not the year of the running backs.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the very different landscape that we're dealing with. We're all trying to adapt.
So let's do it this way then to add on. So we got Russell Wilson on the You Can't Get Right team. So then Ian's going to have to do a running back. Who's your ass of the week that we can add to Merrill's team?
Give me a second.
Ooh. A running back?
Yeah, everybody got to throw a running back.
Running back for last
You're gonna have to do a running back, coach, wide receiver, quarterback. Well, we got the
a running back total for the year.
Just throw me. Well, yeah, just throw me like
James Conner.
Okay.
Yeah,
for
sure. Low hanging fruit.
Okay, well then I'll go somewhere else. I'll go Cam Akers.
You stole mine now.
Good one.
Now you stole mine. Okay, I got
Travis
you one,
Etienne.
I can go better. I can go better than that.
I'll give
Chase
you one.
Edmonds.
How about
Chase
Edmonds is a good one. Chase Edmonds.
He's a good one. He's
AJ
lost the
Dillon.
AJ Dillon, another good one.
Well, hold on. AJ Dillon
He's
is
half the carries though.
AJ Dillon.
Merrill said
can we
just
talk
two
about
for
this?
AJ.
AJ Dillon is a number 2. He's a number 2. Like
He's a
clear number
designated
2.
number 2.
No, but the point is that AJ Dillon was expected to take over.
That's our expectation.
I don't think that was expected this year.
That's our
Aaron
expectations.
Jones is
Ian.
making a bag. I don't think that he was.
But we're
expected.
talking about fantasy.
They
Fantasy
just take
is
Aaron
just
Jones.
our
though.
expectation.
Okay,
So
hold on.
I got a coach.
Let's go
for
ahead and
you.
go to wide receiver. Go ahead and
Hold
go
on,
to
Okay,
wide
wide
receiver.
receivers.
Hold on a second though. They paid Aaron Jones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They paid him.
They paid him.
Wide
So,
receiver.
They
ass of
can't
the
pay
week.
AJ. AJ is still on his rookie deal. They can't pay him.
I know, but AJ's a clear number 2. Anyway, okay.
You know
All
who
right,
I'm
go
gonna
wide
say?
receiver. Go
No,
wide
no,
receiver.
Merrill.
I'm
get
gonna
it,
have
but I
to
don't
put. It hurts my soul, and I know he's hurt a lot, but I'm gonna have to put Michael Thomas.
He's been hurt for 8 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris Olave's really coming out. Like, might be my New Jersey.
Jeff,
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
not go. Jeff, I will not go with he who shall not be named because it's too.
No,
easy.
Oh, that's a good one, though.
Just too easy.
But I will go.
That's low. Talk about low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Lauren,
he's a-
my
he's a-
apologies. I will go with Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, I
You're
can
sick.
understand that completely, dude.
He's
Are
not
you
like
kidding
that.
me right now?
Steelers
Okay.
fans and
Christian
Scott
Kirk.
Hartner, if you're watching, if you were watching right now, this is why I'm listening to you and not him. Whoops, he's that way. There you go.
All right, so I will say another one that was expected to be. He is the number 1 wide receiver, and he's probably the worst number 1 in the league as far as statistical stuff goes, and that's Darnell Mooney.
Darnell Mooney, yeah.
He's such a
I
beautiful
think
catch
I
last
think I
week,
got
though.
him beat. I think I got him beat.
What
Okay,
you got,
let's.
Herb?
What you got?
It ties back to shitty ass Russell. It's got to be Cortland.
I don't know, man. He's had a
Yeah,
couple of weeks.
he's doing all right.
He's had
I
a
would
good
go
week.
Judy. Maybe Judy over
Not
Court.
for what Sutton was
Judy's
getting,
number
but I
2,
mean,
bro.
the
That can't be
entire
in the conversation.
wide receiver field.
No, Merrill, Brandon Cooks. You
Denver.
cannot put Brandon Cooks in this
Adam
conversation.
Thielen's not too bad.
You cannot put Brandon Cooks in this
Yeah,
conversation.
I'm not gonna
You
put
can't
Thielen
put
in
Terry
there.
McLaurin in.
Not yet. Not
All right,
No,
all right.
Brandon Cooks is still.
Give me a tight end.
He
Give
might
me
have
a
tight
some
tight
end.
excuses,
end.
and they might be
Tight
for
end is
45
easy.
yards, but
That's
he
super
had
easy.
7
Tight
yards.
ends.
That's Gesicki. He got franchise tags.
Gesicki.
Last like 3 catches all year.
Gesicki.
That's too ezy. Gesicki.
Tight
I don't
end.
know.
Droppable. No,
I don't know.
are you kidding me? I'm not dropping Cooks.
Yeah, I've
I'll
dropped
take-
Drop the Cooks, bro.
I've dropped
No.
Cooks more than once. More than once in the last couple of weeks.
Oh
No.
no,
So-
There isn't
No.
no easier.
Tight end.
Gesicki
Who are you gonna go for tight
or-
end?
Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet?
Always for the season, Cole Kmet, because he's been
Any
0-0-4-8. I
See,
think.
I gotta say Dawson Schultz just 'cause I'm pissed.
Okay.
Dalton
Yeah.
Schultz, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
Merrill,
a Dawson
DJ Moore.
Creek fan.
All right,
DJ Moore's
Oh,
good.
DJ Moore.
So hold on. Let's
I
pause.
say
for a
DJ
second.
Moore comes
Let's-
back to life this week.
Let's pause for a second because Merrill, we had this conversation, man. DJ Moore is 1,200 yards and 4 touchdowns every fucking year
You got to get it. You got to get on the horse now. Then
1,200 yards and 4 touchdowns. It should not be a surprise at this point, bro. Like you can write that shit down in ink. 1,200 yards and 4 touchdowns.
I think
so. So anyway, all right. So QB, Ferg, who you got your ass of the week for QB?
Don't take mine.
We'll see, Meryl. I don't know.
There was some bad shit this week.
There was a really good one.
You gonna take Baker?
You should take Baker.
Are we talking just
there? I was there, and it looks worse in person.
I feel so bad
worse
for him.
in person.
You can't take. Who'd you say, Ian?
I got to go with the Miami rookie.
Is this like for like only for this week or for the whole season?
Well, I mean, I'm not even gonna go whole season because that's most visible. Baker is too just low hanging fruit as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't do Baker like that. I'll say, I mean, you have to go back to Russell. I mean, it all ends and begins with Russell.
Yeah, no. Look, that's also low hanging fruit, Ferg. Come on, man.
Mean,
I got one for you. I got one for you.
Like Jacoby Brissett is actually playing well.
I got one for you.
So is Gina. So is fucking Jimmy Garoppolo.
Number 1 quarterback ass of the week. Are you ready?
Yes.
Kyler Murray spiking the ball, bringing a 4th and 1, and then that.
He's playing Call of Duty all day. I mean,
that was awful. Like,
hey, can I make a suggestion? Can I make a suggestion? Maybe they should have kept the stipulation where he watched more film. In his contract.
Yeah, that's true. Because
I'm just saying, playing since he was like 5 years old.
Because when they started, the kicker comes out, they're like, "Well, he's missed every single kick so far in practice, but maybe he'll make this one." Nope, look the same shit.
No, he won't.
No, he didn't. I feel bad for that guy. He's played on like 4 teams.
DJ Moore in the league.
He's on my league of record team for our league.
He's dropped him in the league last week.
I had Mike Tomlin on here for his play calls.
Is he just limited? I think he's limited by what he has to cook with.
I love Mike Tomlin.
Really?
I
live in Baltimore, so I can't say he's not really a person.
Never had a losing record.
I mean, Lauren.
Never.
Look, I'm just going off what Eric said, though, too.
How many coaches have there been in the Steelers' history? What, 4?
3.
The guy that can't fold pillowcases.
There's 3 since 1990.
3 since our lifetime.
Well, Bill Cowher. Since 1960.
Bill
Cowher and
Tomlin.
Right, and Tomlin.
Oh, it's Tomlin. Noel Cowher Tomlin.
So 16 years of coaching for this dude, and this is his longest losing streak. Tied for his longest losing streak. 16 years of coaching and how many Super Bowls? He has 1 win, right? 1 Super Bowl win and 2 Super Bowl appearances.
Yeah.
Right? So most coaches overall
would
fucking kill for that resume.
Yep.
There was something specific he did, and I did not write my note about what specific. There was like specific plays like last weekend.
I mean, it's only so much you can do.
Yeah. No, but like for the week last week, he made some shade.
Harold, I wish you were on here to have this conversation. So if you can log in, we'd love to have you as a part of this conversation.
Hold on.
The man has never had a losing record.
I
would not allow you to be.
Guys,
I would never allow him to be blasphemed
like
that.
Something. We owe Kamish. Congratulations to your Giants.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That was an awesome game. That was awesome to watch.
It was an awesome game. And in London.
Was an awesome game. Yes. That was I got chills coming like hair standing up to even thinking about it. That was an awesome game.
There is something special about watching football at 9:00 in the morning.
There's something special about watching the Giants whoop up the Green Bay Packers.
It gives you permission.
Oh, well, yeah.
At 9:00 in the morning.
I'm telling you, chills right here, Meryl. See this chills. I was so excited for the Giants.
2 or 3 in the morning, so.
I just thought it was like it was just a really good.
Well, just like
the Giants gonna start doing Giant things in a few minutes.
And Daniel Jones was so excited. It reminds me of like when Tom Brady was younger and he cared whether he won or not. It's just like watching Daniel Jones so excited to win, seeing it in London when everyone's going out there to see Aaron Rodgers do his thing, and he fucking failed. And it was beautiful.
I wish I had one of them buttons like Tony Reale when you just use
Meryl.
The same sentence. I'm gonna mute you, take all your points.
I get it.
Merle is a realist. He knows the Giants about to start doing giant things.
The Giants are 4-1 and they beat Green Bay. They are we got it. The only thing I will say is they got a tough matchup when they got to play going against the Eagles, because the Eagles are my hot take for this week. Eagles. Don't forget I got a shotgun a beer if they lose.
All right, so you know what? Let's do this real quick because
PJ Walker couldn't start at UNC Charlotte. Wow.
Yeah, no, and I get it.
Giants are mine.
Fucking sling
there
the
you
ball,
go, Larry Patterson, G-Men.
That he can sling the ball though, like that. Just I don't know, man.
You know who can sling the ball? That guy Larry Patterson in those comments right there.
All right,
I mean, they're supposed to be on paper, Commish. I thought it was a good game. I loved it.
All right, Meryl, let's get your take, even if it is on chat, man. Y'all are 6-point dogs against the Ravens at home. Against the Ravens, y'all are 6-point dogs. I don't necessarily disagree, but you know your defense better than we do. Yeah, I don't know.
That's terrible. That's a terrible analogy.
It depends on who you ask. So, but anyway, so that's going to be an interesting game. Giants at Ravens. That's going to be an interesting game with the Ravens favored for some odd reason. The Ravens
defense. It's going to come down to the defense.
And Ravens defense has been trash.
It is, but it's trash. Like I feel like if the Giants can stop, that's going to be a good game.
Trash.
I feel like it's
about to say stop Lamar.
No, it's not no chance, Commish. I would say it's like a draw. I don't know. That's gonna be a good game.
All right, so now let's Ravens going down. Hey, look, Larry, I like your enthusiasm.
I'd be willing. You could talk me into taking the Giants.
27-17.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm kind of on like the Giants are at home. They're coming off a big win. The defense is. I don't know.
27-24. Right. Giants.
I don't know.
So now I want everybody to do me a favor. I'm going to take the first one, but I want everybody else to look at the roster of what's going on this week, game-wise. And I want you to pick your upset of the week, even if it may be small or if it may be a big upset. I want you to pick your upset of the week, and then we're going to talk about the Sunday night game and the Monday night game just to finish it off because we need to get out of here. All right. So I want everybody to pick their upset of the week. And then we'll talk about it, right? I want to pick my upset of the week, and Ferg, I don't know why this feels right in my heart, but I'm going Panthers over Rams this week. I don't know why, but it just feels right. Panthers.
It does feel right.
It feels right.
Stafford be Staffording.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, there's a couple of quarterbacks. There's two quarterbacks you're not happy you drafted. One of them is Stafford. One of them is Russell Wilson. And so, good, Merrill. I'm glad you will join us next week so we can talk about this. But I'm going Panthers over Rams, even though it's in L.A. So, Ferg, what say you, bro? Even though you're frozen, we can.
Stafford's on my ass.
I'm going.
I feel you, Lauren.
Falcons over 49ers.
Ooh,
right,
okay.
Wow.
Hold on a second.
I actually would like to see that.
In Atlanta.
Okay.
49ers been on the East Coast 2 weeks in a row.
They've been on the East Coast.
Get home. I'm gonna take Mariota to get right. A get right game.
I like that.
Okay, Ferg. Lauren, what say you?
I don't know. Is it an upset if I can't? It's not an upset if I take the Eagles, is it?
For who? Against who?
Oh, against the Cowboys, because that was the whole bet I made with Jeff a couple weeks ago.
It may be a push in that way, but if you want to call
Eagles are favored by 6.
Yeah, Philly's
okay, but for my own self-interest, I told Jeff I would shotgun a beer if the Eagles lost on the show next week.
Then you stand by that.
Then you stand on that. You stand on that on your.
What do you
fly,
say?
Eagles fly.
I'll go Broncos over Chargers Monday night.
Ooh.
I like that. I don't hate it. I hope it doesn't happen. But I
hate the Broncos, but I don't trust the Chargers.
I will love it because that means Russ has a good game because he has to outsling Justin Herbert.
Exactly.
So I'm okay with that. So before we get to talking about the Sunday night game and the Monday night game, we have to bring up one more game because it's super important for the season, not only fantasy-wise, but regular football-wise. Bills at Chiefs.
Start it, everybody.
Oh, for sure. You
I'm
start
taking the
every
Chiefs.
single person, including McCole Hardman, in this matchup. It's a 54-point over/under. It's a 2.5-point favorite for the Bills. You guys at Kansas City.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
At Kansas City,
Taking the Chiefs.
that could be like an almost upset kind of thing.
I'm not taking the Chiefs. I don't even know. That's a bonanza points.
All right,
I take the Chiefs.
So let me tell you the best.
I don't care. Is more the
well. Let me tell you the best fantasy thing I've ever done, and it's 20-something years after I've started playing fantasy. In Ferg and I's league of record, which is Hoofnagel, which is the one we all want to win, with the commission in it as well, and JE is in it as well. My first two of my first three picks were Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen.
that seems to be the thing to do this year.
It's hard to overcome that. I didn't have a good week last week, and I won because of Diggs and Allen. Mostly Allen, if we're being real.
But Gabe Davis was this guy last week.
He was, but Diggs still had 120 and a touch.
Yeah.
No, Josh Allen is for sure, Meryl, because like as I just said, like my team, my running back situation is trash. I have DeAndre Swift, James Robinson, and Kareem Hunt and Damian Harris. And I am first in the league because of Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. And it's just one of those things that Josh Allen deserves the respect of the 2.5-point favorite on the road in Kansas City. Of all places, probably the hardest place to play in the NFL, right?
As a visitor, yeah.
Right.
It's a toss-up with that in Seattle. I thought they go back and forth.
Seattle's the loudest.
No, Seattle.
They go back and forth with the decibel. Yeah,
it's true.
Man, that Kansas City crowd, man, all that red, that would just fuck me up. I don't do red, so I don't do red or dark blue. That would just just start everybody. It doesn't even matter.
Start everybody.
Isaiah McKenzie.
Have done
Nicole Hardman. Start Isaiah.
You got to go ahead and wrap this up.
Start everybody.
Start everybody fantasy wise. Yeah, for sure. Larry, the beast. All right, so now let's get to the Sunday night game real quick. Cowboys Eagles. I hate the Cowboys, so I'm going to go Eagles just because Jalen Hurts, on a fantasy note, has not thrown a touchdown or more than one touchdown in 3 weeks, and he's still the quarterback 6.
He's gonna smoke it. It's done.
Well, that's because he has 2 rushing touchdowns.
I will not be shotgunning anything next week.
No.
Jalen Hurts.
It's done.
You know, coming here from a Philly, Jalen Hurts has 4 passing touchdowns and 8 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
on the season.
And he's the quarterback, 3 or 6?
3.
It's one of those 2. I don't remember.
6.
3. So
Gino is 6.
Yeah, Gino 6. Yeah. So the Eagles are 6-point favorites for the night. So really quickly, obviously we're starting AJ Brown. You probably got to start Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
You got to start Miles Sanders. You got to start Jalen Hurts. You got to start the Philly D. Just
Dallas
because
Goddard.
Oh, I think Philly D is a good one this week. I think it's going to be.
Yeah, you got to start Dallas Goddard just because.
You got to start.
So you start every position player on the Eagles, even though I think the Eagles and the Cowboys are 1 and 2 defenses on the year.
The Eagles are going to tear it up.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
I don't disagree with you necessarily.
Dallas is Dallas is going to get like a
you
touchdown.
Even start some backups on the Eagles. You start if you in a super deep league, you're starting
their game to
Kenny Gainwell. You're starting Quez Watkins. You're starting your backups for Philly.
The Eagles are going to eat the Cowboys alive.
I hope so, Lauren.
I really think they are. I can't. You don't go to Philly with the records they have right now. Going to Philly is not going to.
Let me tell you something about Philly right now. First of all, last weekend was a really bad weekend to be a Cardinal because the Eagles beat the Arizona Cardinals and the Phillies beat the St. Louis Cardinals. For this game coming up, now I've lived in Philly for a couple of years, but this city goes rabid when it's Cowboys week.
Absolutely.
For Cowboys week. This city is at a frothy lather in their mouths for this Sunday night game.
That's why I'm saying it's going to be a bloodbath.
The hype is ridiculous.
Well, it's also Philly. Y'all throw batteries at opposing players.
Oh, we're assholes. We're the biggest asshole fans in the world, but we eat it up. We love it. We own it.
Oh no, and man, I respect that, Ian, as an obnoxious UNC Tar Heels fan. I respect that because I am known as being obnoxious, and I own that title, and like I bathe in it because I like it.
You would fit in here very well, Clint.
I get it. I'm not an Eagles fan. And you know what's funny is that my wife is from Houston. And so she is a Texans fan. And we go travel for football to watch Texans play at different places. And we've been all across the country to watch that. And I'm a fantasy guy. When people ask me my favorite team, I have one.
Listen, when it comes to this game, Clint, there's people that are Eagles fans, there's people that are Cowboys fans, and everybody else in the world hates the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Well, everybody hates the Cowboys for sure, and I think that's a product of Jerry Jones.
Well, this is the game for people that aren't Eagles fans and aren't Cowboys fans. Which team do you hate less?
Eagles.
People hate the Cowboys as a team more, but hate Eagles fans more because.
Man, that's the same way I feel about Duke. I hate Duke more, but State fans more. So I get it completely.
Same thing.
I get it completely. Ferg, do you hate Florida State more, or do you hate Florida more?
Nobody cares about Florida. Florida's irrelevant. Florida is irrelevant to this conversation.
All right, guys.
So everybody pretty much has Philly here. Is that what I'm gathering?
We have Philly.
All right. So, and I'm sure everybody has Chargers here over the Broncos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Upset.
Yeah. No, dude, it's just one of those things, man. I know that you're calling it upset, Ian, and I respect that shit, man. And you know what? There is nothing more than I hope than is for a fucking upset, because I need Russell Wilson to have another one of those 40-point weeks that he had a couple of weeks ago. I need that.
Eckler to have a 40-point week.
Well, you know what? Austin Eckler has way more consistent than Russell Wilson. So, dude had a great week last week and a great week the week before.
2 straight great weeks.
Great. Like, if I can say it one more friggin' time. Like, fan-freaking-tastic. Right? All right. Good. So, Monday night game. Right?
All right. I actually have to take off, guys.
Well, who do you have, Lauren, real quick? Because we're getting ready to wrap this up.
Monday night.
Chargers, Broncos.
Chargers.
I'm going to take Chargers
by 17.
Well, yeah, I'm going to take Chargers.
4.5-point spread 17. For the Chargers.
I'm just going to take the home 17. Team. Like, that game is – I'm going to take home team on that.
I would say it's a push as well. Melvin Gordon gets the work. Does Melvin Gordon get 12 fantasy points in a half-point PPR this week?
No.
In a half-point PPR, maybe not.
It's going to be like
PPR.
In a full point,
another game I don't want to watch.
He's getting all of the work.
The work. He's getting 60% of the work. Mike Boone is getting 40% of.
Hold on a second. They also just signed Latavius Murray.
Fuck Latavius Murray.
They said that Latavius would get his chance, bro.
He's out Sunday.
He's an ass. He's ass.
All right. All right. So we're all in agreement that the Chargers.
Get out of here.
The Chargers are going to win. The Eagles are going to win. So we're all in agreement with that. So anybody have anything else before we wrap the show up?
Pick up Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Cowboys
I agree with that. And if you didn't get Kenneth Walker, I'm sorry. I feel your pain.
Yeah, exactly.
So until next week, I'm Clint, a.k.a. Clintonian the Champ. We got Ferg with us. We got Lauren Hudat, and obviously at Ian the Champ. And so if you guys have any questions, drop them on our social media. Ferg, what's the social media handles we got there, bro?
The new football show with no name at IG, or you can hit me or Lauren on Facebook. We'll get you on there.
Yeah, let's do that. So you guys,
chat pages.
I'm not in jail right now. You're good.
Any questions Any comments, please drop them, and we will see you guys next week.